Rappers are blowing up faster than ever, but they're also falling off even faster. Why does this keep happening though? Is it the industry's fault? Is it the fans? Or is it the artists themselves? Let's talk about it today. It's Will Armani. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody's feeling positive. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. Got new videos coming on the way. Let's get into it. Artists are blowing up faster than ever, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's great that we're able to get a entry into music, because at the end of the day, the entry level to get into music, the bar has been lowered so much. So it's no surprise that artists are blowing up so fast, but they're also falling off just as fast. And I think one of the reasons could be social media creates viral stars, but not long-term ones. And I think big examples of this, and I'm gonna be so real, I think a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but Net Spends, the Ians, the Rich Amiris, because we don't really know if we're gonna be talking about these artists in 2 to 3 years, and so many people will be like, oh, why does that matter? But it kind of does, because it's raising alarms when so many artists aren't creating careers for themselves that are long-term and long-lasting, as opposed to virality and creating things for the moment. So I want to go through my top reasons why artists fall off so quickly right now and nobody's staying in the game. And I think one of the biggest reasons is that artists aren't developing core fan bases. Virality doesn't equal real fans, and many artists get millions of streams and millions of views, but no real support. A lot of these artists are falling off because they don't have real core fan bases. They blow up from one big song, but they run everything off of that song, and they don't try to really develop a fan base. They don't really try to connect with fans. A lot of people would say like, oh, I don't care, I just listen to the music, but like, okay, let's think about this. Long term, when you just listen to the music, eventually you're gonna move on to the next thing, which means that every single fan of an artist is moving on so much faster than they used to, because besides the songs that they're giving them, you're not giving somebody any reason to stay with you. And if you're not giving anybody a reason to keep listening to you other than your music, they're not gonna stay. You're gonna just fall off the face of the earth. I think another reason is that artists are chasing trends too much. Trends are one of the things where, like, listen, at the end of the day, artists are blowing up so fast, and it's because of the trends. It's because of the virality through these trends, through TikTok, through all these different things, through influencer campaigns. I get it. Trends are a big thing right now, but because of this, artists aren't really creating anything that's lasting for fans. They're not creating anything that's going to keep fans around. So what a lot of artists are doing now is they're copying trends and they're growing from it, but they're not doing anything that's going to keep them around. So as soon as the trend dies, they die with it. That has so much connectivity with TikTok as a whole. And I was one of the people who was against TikTok staying, because at the end of the day, I think short form content, there's nothing wrong with it, but TikTok within itself has changed the way that people view music. And even if TikTok goes, it'll forever leave this impact on fast-paced music, which is what a lot of people call fast food music. And these trends create these artists that grow, but then right as the trend dies, they die with it. And it's just sad, honestly. Another reason why rappers fall off is definitely because of bad label deals, because at the end of the day, a lot of these artists right now are being signed very, very quickly. And artists used to get signed with like hundreds of thousands of followers. Now artists are getting signed with as low as like 500 to 1,000 followers. And at the end of the day, like that's cool, right? That's cool. Like, you could be an artist right now grinding, and if your music is good and you're doing your thing, you can get signed. But because of that, labels are now doing a different approach, where like a lot of the time labels looked at an artist and they're like, we are going to give you this amount of a deal, like a large amount deal, to try to keep the longevity going, try to keep your career alive. And now labels are like, we don't have to do that anymore, because artists are being pumped out so quickly. So what labels do now is they're signing these artists really young, they pump them for whatever they can, and they milk their career as much as they possibly can in a really short span of time with trends, viralities, stuff like that. As soon as it's done, they either drop them or they shelve them as an artist. That's why a lot of artists are falling off so quickly, because the labels are signing them so fast. They pump them for whatever they can, and then because they've been pumped so much, the label's just like, okay, well, we're not making any money from you. And realistically, the labels are never going to make any money from a lot of the artists who they're signing right now, and they usually don't make money anyway. It's a long-term investment, and they're not making long-term investments, they're making short-term investments, because everybody's mind is in a short-term way of thinking right now. I think another big reason why artists are falling off is because of the lack of versatility. We don't have a lot of versatile, unique, or different sounding artists right now anymore. And because artists pop off, a lot of the times they'll pop off from one song, it goes crazy, and then after that, they just fall off, because once you do the same thing over and over and over again, a lot of the times artists who don't develop, or they wait too long to develop when it comes to their sound. They'll fall off because their fans are losing interest. I know for me personally, I've lost interest in a lot of artists recently because they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And sometimes it works. Depending on the artist, it works. I think an example that I want to use is Lil Tecca. Lil Tecca, since the day that he blew up from Ransom up until now, has pretty much spit out the exact same song over and over and over again, but it's a good song and I like it. Lil Tecca is one of the artists who I'm going to say is somebody who I usually talk to my girlfriend about. I'm like, Lil Tecca plays it safe, you know? He's not doing anything monumental. He's not ever gonna give you anything crazy, but he's never gonna give you anything garbage either. He really plays it safe and he moves in this fine line. He could pump out something that sounds very similar, catchy, and like an academic said, he's a jingle artist, and I don't want to go that far, but he can give you the same thing over and over and over again, and because it's a good thing that he's giving you, his fans are riding for it, and I'm riding for it too, and it's okay, you know, like it's good music. But not a lot of artists can do that because a lot of the times you gotta have some sort of development in there. Like Tecca has developed as an artist over time, you know, like of course he's pumping out very similar music for the last few years, but it's all good, and throughout all of it, he's developing in different ways. His voice has definitely gotten better. His bars are definitely a lot more specific and a lot more tamed to what he's going through right now in life, as opposed to what he was coming up with in his brain that he was going through when he was 16. So there's some development there. But when artists are not really being versatile and they're constantly pumping out the same song over and over and over again, eventually the fans are gonna get bored of it. So there are two ways that I think artists can avoid falling off, and one of them is they can reinvent their sounds. Now, a lot of artists are scared to reinvent their sound because when you reinvent your sound, you could be steering your entire fan base away from you, but at the exact same time, it can bring an entirely new fan base to you. I don't think a lot of people care about Machine Gun Kelly on this page, but I'm just gonna bring it up real quick and then throw it out the water. Like, he completely changed. Post Malone completely changed. These are two artists who, even though it kind of steered their other fan base away, it made their fan base even larger because they opened up themselves to a new space in music. And when artists decide to change and differentiate themselves, although it could make some of your current fans kind of go like, I don't really know about this, it can also allow more fans to come in. And then when other people see something popping, because at the end of the day, people like to follow each other. Everybody's a follower. If you see something popping, that's like everybody in high school, where like a lot of the music that's popping out right now, it's not amazing, but if your friends are saying it's good, you're gonna check it out, and you might even lie to yourself and tell yourself that it's good just because you want everybody to think that you agree with them. That's one of the things that artists can definitely do. It's like differentiate your sound, reinvent yourself, change your sound. And another thing that artists can do is develop a fan connection. And I know like this sounds so like, oh, it's like cliche, like of course develop a fan connection, of course, yet every underground artist right now, every rapper right now is losing sight of that. Like, okay, like cool, you got cool songs, you got good things, but like I get it. I get that some people don't have charisma. I get that some people don't really have deep personalities. I get that some people don't want to overshare their personality, but at the very least, show your fans that you care. I think so many artists right now, and I can go on and list like tons of artists, but I don't want to be too specific. I just want to say most of the artists who are popping out right now, I think are so obsessed with the fact that they're famous and that they got all this fame and they got all this success that they don't realize, okay, that's cool, but it's not gonna last, brother. It's not gonna last if you don't try to develop a fan connection. If you don't try to say, okay, I might be performing on stage, I might be doing all these things, but like respond to comments, open up DMs, like show love to your fans, show that you actually care about their support. Because if you care about a fan's support, it's going to keep you relevant and it's going to keep those fans staying with you and create long-term fans. I know even myself, as somebody who used to be, I say used to because, you know, rest in peace X was somebody who I was attached to, and it's because I can tell regardless of what place you were, he was going to look at you as a person and say like, hey, like if you need anything, I support you. If you need anything, I'm gonna be here for you. And every artist who doesn't do that, like you can have the most amazing music. You can have music that is chart selling music and can go crazy on Billboard. But if you don't develop that fan connection, if you don't develop that connection with the people who you're supplying the music to, they aren't gonna buy from the supply anymore. They're just not. My big question to you is, do you think that rappers have shorter careers now? Do you think that rappers are in a place where they can't really come back anymore? Please let me know in the comments what you think. I really like having discussions like this, and I want to have a discussion with you. If you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe. I got more videos coming on the way. I'm trying to pump out as many as I possibly can. If you want to follow me on Instagram, because I make my own music too, you can follow me on Instagram, Will Armani with 2 eyes. I got more of that coming as well. And I hope that you have an amazing and positive week.